At the end of the day, we can endure much more than we think we can. Frida Kahlo. I read once that it takes upward of 10,000 hours to become an expert or master of a skill. I guess you could say that I was an expert at living in fear. Growing up, I wished I could be anywhere else but where I was. Other people's lives seemed better than mine. Looking outward was easier. What if I'd grown up in a nicer part of town? What if I had a different body? What if I had made different choices? What if I hadn't grown up where I did? With all those years of study and practice, fear is very much a skill I mastered. It's a voice that begins in my mind that plays out worst-case scenarios. When I'm on my morning run, I worry that someone could run me over. When I'm in bed watching my favorite show, I think about how someone could break in and kill me, my partner Tori, and the dogs. When I travel, I imagine the airplane crashing even as I dunk my tea bag in hot water and stare at a beautiful sunrise. When I'm sitting outside staring at my orange tree, I catch a glimpse of the cracks in the concrete and think, the big one could happen any day now. A tiny surge of electricity runs through my chest as I begin to panic. I say, hello there, old friend. When I'm not thinking about catastrophic events, I'm consulting Dr. Google to see what kind of illness my symptoms are corroborating. I give myself just enough panic to jump out of my chair and say, I'm having a heart attack. I live my life wondering, when will the next shoe drop? It can all end in an instant. These are all valid fears, but I find that they are most prevailing when things are going well. Here's a sign that your life is going well. You are alive. You are breathing and you are comfortably enjoying this book. Congratulations. You are well on your way to making it through another difficult day of being human. Your life is going well. Life is hard, and let's be honest, sometimes it can turn quickly. Waking hours can drag on, days that move into weeks turn into months, years pass stealthily as you celebrate big birthdays, anniversaries, and life's fleeting milestones. Then one day it's over. We spend so much time filling the void of space and time with things, tasks, and lists that in the grand scheme of life don't really matter. This is depressing. However, putting things into perspective allows you to reach for more of what's important, for things that matter most. It helps us remember what we are doing here. So how do we discern what matters? Discernment is the ability to recognize and distinguish the difference between two or more things for the purpose of choosing what serves your highest good. Living a life in constant fear is exhausting. I learned all about living in fear while growing up in East Los Angeles. It was not your typical palm tree-lined Southern California dreaming scenery. It was normal to hear the latest news of someone getting killed from gang violence or some innocent bystander dying from the most recent drive-by shooting. It was normal because it happened just outside our door. So much of my worldview was shaped by the normalization of fear. I also thought everyone broke the law at some point and that being in the juvenile detention system was a rite of passage. I didn't know that there were any other options on the menu. I didn't even know there was a menu. Struggling with debilitating panic attacks while taking medication for anxiety and depression was my normal. I've come a long way from worrying about gunshots going through our apartment. But sometimes when I'm lurking on people's Instagram pages, I get the same anxiety I did when I was a child. I'm not posting enough. I go through hundreds of pictures trying to find the right landscape or the right inspirational quote. I've come a long way from worrying about gunshots going through our apartment. Social media has become such a prevalent part of our lives. We find ourselves living in a world of instant gratification, where our importance and worthiness are based upon clicks and social likes. We get inspiration via quotes and highlight reels at the expense of our own self-worth. We feel lost and unable to feel loved and genuinely connected. In a world where we have been conditioned to believe we are more connected than ever, we have disengaged from our own selves. The fact is that we do matter, and we don't need anyone outside of ourselves to validate that. We allow misinformation into our psyches without thought or question, because it appears on YouTube accounts with millions of views and in posts with clickable headlines.